Hey, my name's Allison, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. The word I would use to describe myself before Christ would probably be alone. And to give you some background on my life, I didn't really grow up in a Christian environment. I think the first time I went to church was like 6th or 7th grade, and I thought just going to church made you a Christian. I wasn't really seeking a relationship with the Lord. It wasn't until college that I started actually getting into a relationship with God. And back then I was just seeking my acceptance and seeking fulfillment from relationships with others. And it wasn't until I got in a community with Christians that I felt like this wasn't enough. And I think it was because I started segmenting my life. I had my non-Christian friends and I had my Christian friends. And some of those friends I partied with, and I just didn't want to tell my Christian friends about that. I thought I had to keep that part of my life from them. And I just was keeping a bunch of secrets from people, and I was holding everybody at arm's distance away, so I could never get really close to anybody. And that was just really lonely. But I think it was because I thought I had to earn their acceptance. It wasn't just given. And I also realized that I was kind of treating my relationship with God in this way. I thought I had to become this better person, and then I could get closer to God, and then I would get His acceptance. But God showed me that isn't true. And it wasn't until recently that I really understood in my heart what God's grace truly meant. And it's in Ephesians 2:8-9 that it says, "For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." So God just gives us His acceptance and gives us His love freely. We don't do anything to deserve it. And I think this is when I accepted Christ into my heart. And the word I would use to describe myself after would be enveloped. Because God envelops me in His love, and I still seek my acceptance and fulfillment in others, but at the end of the day, it's not so lonely because I have God to fall back on, and He's the only one who can truly fulfill me and make me feel not empty and fill the void. And that's my story. Thanks for listening.